Hi, my name is Aaron Malloy, and today I'll be doing my video blog for digital identity. Um, the first question that they actually asked us was describe your digital identity and behaviors associated with it. At first, I picked digital devices, but it was actually a very broad topic. So, I thought about, you know, our youth, our kids, and I wanted to go in more of that direction. When you really think about it and you think about, you ever been in the train and you'll see kids blasting their music on their earbuds or, you know, a little kid or a teenager texting so fast on their phone and they're just not aware of their surroundings. That right there, I wanted to more pay attention to. The youth of today are consistently immersed in technology advancements that promote non-stop communication. No matter if it's cell phones, laptops, MP3 players, but they're taking a stronghold of our youth. Um, so the basically where I wanted to go with this was how technology hinders personal communication and negatively impacts our age group. The evidence particularly hinders communications are like cell phones, laptops, use of the internet. So I really wanted to kind of narrow it down on those main topics. Um, our world and culture embraces internet, cell phones use, but um, there are definitely negative parts that come behind it. It makes you actually wonder what our real reason. I don't think we're embracing it the right way. It definitely kills our social skills, and it stops us from what we are trying to accomplish within life. Um, we spend less time talking to our family and we communicate with our cell phones more than we communicate with people in general. And I think that hinders us, especially with the youth, with college, high school. Raising your hand when there's an issue going on or you have to solve something. I feel like people were probably better off. Would be better off answering a question using their cell phone because they're such used to living more in a box, and I'll get more into that later. Using like a cell phone and internet lets us. Um, it kind of separates us and puts us in our own world. I feel like utilizing your cell phone or any type of technology that keeps us away from the social grouping of a human puts us in our own world. Perfect example, let's say somebody is using their phone to play a game or they're playing PlayStation. They're making up their own world where nobody is in their own zone, is in their zone, and they're actually stuck. They're actually making up their own, fantasy pretty much. Um, I believe in advanced technology has a negative impact on social interaction because it attaches us from what is happening around us. Society must be able to utilize technology while not allowing to implode social interaction. Um, our world must learn to embrace technology without allowing it to be negative impact of our creations around us and adults in society. And this has to go with what is taught with our kids. A couple of big questions that our blogs they wanted us to answer. I'm going to go through them real quick, but is how is your digital identity different from your real world self? It takes you from the real world in being social to being non-social and being in a different world. And like I was saying about living in a box, you're making up your own world, your own fantasy, and nobody is bothering you. So you're in your safe zone. And that's going to affect our youth later on in life. Another question was how does technology enables you to more fully express a social dimension of your identity? Looking at the patterns and seeing what is being done to our youth. For an example, you bother me, I jump on my cell phone, I play a game or on social media, and I get in my box where I know nobody can bother me and I'm in my safe zone. Um, The next question is, how does technology govern, influence, or shape your identity? The more technology gets smarter, the more attention it gives to our kids. Sooner or later, you know, I mean, there'll be groups at schools to have more conversations, and people will actually prefer not to have those conversations and be more on virtual talk. So instead of a group, getting together and speaking, I believe they'll prefer being on a video chat, or instead of a video chat on the cell phone. And these are things that are going to shape us for our future, which is definitely not a good thing. The next one is, how is your digital identity a product of social technology context to which you live? I mean, I answered that earlier with how um, it actually is stopping us from advancing. I believe cell phones, technology, digital devices is a good thing, but we need to really look at the reason behind it. We're not utilizing it the correct way. I feel like the parents from schools were not giving the correct identity and shape to what we need to be using these things for. Um, how is your online identity like a performance? Um, a very interesting question. uh, like I was saying earlier, I feel like it's just living in that box, and it's just stopping you from interacting, which hinders us from advancing. Those are like my biggest key points for this conversation. How is your behavior different from when you know it is public? Um, you know, Again, stopping us from advancing um, with public. So having that conversation, going up to individual, just saying hi. You can't do that when somebody's always on their cell phone. Now you have companies right now that always using the cell phones, and they pay for your bill. They say check your email, do everything on your cell phone. Now technology is actually taking over everything, and these kids, the youth, they see that. So if we're doing it, they're gonna do it as well. It's just they are our future. So even though they're embracing technology, it's still not a good thing. Lastly, how does digital identity affect your sense of who you are as a person? For me, when I see this, it's human versus technology. It's affecting us on our way of thinking and being social. In the article titled "Social Construction of Facts and Artifacts," Pinch and Beiger suggests that in order to truly understand the relationship between humans and technology, one must focus on meaning, giving to technology by those who design and develop and use them. It makes you really think about the real reason why we have social media, why they put cell phones out there and made it so cheaper for everybody to have it. For me, I believe it's mind control. I believe it's actually affecting on what we are really trying to get accomplished. It's just like the TV. The TV attracts us. The TV gets our attention, and instead of us reading a book and educating our minds so we could think more and broader, it affects us and keeps us in this box where we need. So the big question is, do we need cell phones? Do we need social media? Do we need the internet? I feel like we made it so if the internet is not around us, we feel lost. And that is a problem. I believe there should be workshops where we go live out in the woods for a couple of days without any of these devices to help us balance what we are doing. I think it's important for our kids to be a part of that. They have this thing in Boston actually called Thompson Island. In Thompson Island, you have no cell phones, you have no MP3 players, and you basically are living in the woods, and it balanced you. And I took that for 3 years when I was in high school, and it helped me actually understand that cell phones are not important. Internet is not important. What's around you is important. Embracing certain things and environments and stuff is important. Because without those, you're not going to have no cell phones or technology. So I think it's the education piece that we really need to understand and help us get to where we need to go. Thank you very much.